Welcome to part 5 of the Planet Wallywood mini tour. Part 1 was the home theater, part 2 the showcase room, part 3 the Cheney room, and part 4 the kitchen. This is part 5, the Isle of Art, leading up to the upstairs. As I mentioned in a previous segment, I find the Ben Cooper Halloween masks of the 60s and 70s to be art. So a very rare Barnabas Collins mask and costume from Ben Cooper from about 1966, I believe, or 68, the trademark says on the costume. And I have several other masks. I had masks just like this when I was about 4 or 5 years old, so I just had to have those. I also had a Dick Tracy. Love the Groovy Ghoulies, so I bought all the Groovy Ghoulies masks and I have them hanging up here. But on the other side I have all kinds of different pieces of art, including funny face packages, which I've always found to be delicious and fun as a kid. I used to open up the center spread of the comic books in the fall and see what new cartoons were coming on the different networks. A signed Dark Shadows poster from House of Dark Shadows. Some animation cells, Beavis and Butthead, Groovy Ghoulies, me and the main surviving Star Trek cast. My character from Family Guy, Mr. Rogers, when he took off his Lois mask and surprised Stewie. I've always been a Popeye fan since I was a kid. In fact, I think my first word was Popeye or Popeye. I played Dr. O'Shea in Astro Boy in 2001, so I got an animation cell from an Astro Boy cartoon. Again, more 60s vintage Halloween masks. As we go further up, a signed Ray Harryhausen piece of artwork. I know that the glare is kind of makes it difficult to see some of these things, for which I apologize. I'll try and bounce around the glare as much as possible, because all these are framed with UV protective glass. Some ephemera from my childhood. A signed Family Guy cast poster. A Seth MacFarlane original, Stewie. I used to love the Archies, one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, so I was lucky to be able to find an Archies animation cell. Casey Kasem signed that Shaggy cell. I used to love the Impossibles. My friend Bridget Marquardt from Girls Next Door. Robert Englund. A signed Empire Strikes Back poster signed by pretty much most everybody. Missing a few. Myself and my beloved late dog Sassy. Art Leonardi, animator for Pink Panther. And over here we have some more Halloween masks adorning the walls from the 60s and 70s. Beretta, Starsky, Fonzie. A signed James Bond Live and Let Die poster. Val Kilmer signed poster for Batman Forever. And this poster of Dark Shadows was in the office of, oh, too much glare, was in the office of Dan Curtis, who passed away a few years back, and I bought that at a charity auction. And of course, more Halloween masks, which I really love. The Family Guy crew made up a cell of my character Barnaby. Even though Family Guy's not animated with cells, they put that together. I thought that was very nice for my birthday one year. A John Cristofalusi original Ren and Stimpy. Some more Ben Cooper masks. Something from the original Laurel and Hardy cartoon, which I always used to love as a kid. And a piece of artwork I found at an art show, which deals with one of my favorite subjects, breakfast cereal. So, the next part will go into the puppet room. Join us for that.